Meet Chris. I call him Dad, but you probably don't, so we'll stick with Chris. Chris loves to learn everything he can, know everything about everything, serve at church, laugh.
Free space. We knew that one was coming.
I missed that. You shouldn't even be able to count that one.
And travel the world with his best friend and partner in crime, Lori. When he's not at the mercy of hordes of little black dogs, he's busy being the best husband, son, brother, dad, and friend. Trust me, people love this guy. Meet Lori. You can't talk about Chris without talking about Lori. Lori is endlessly supportive, super fun, will go to almost any length to make you smile, and honestly is just fearless. Lori is the most generous person you will ever meet. This year, our family learned that sickness can even come for the superheroes. In December of 2018, Chris got sick, and then sicker, and then a little better, but then really sick. In March, he was rushed by ambulance to Nashville to St. Thomas West. There we learned that his heart was basically giving out, and he would need a heart transplant. There was a lot of waiting at this point, waiting on insurance, doctors' opinions, even to be listed on the transplant list. But through the fear and the mundane, Lori never left his side, even when we tried to make her. The next step was a balloon pump. It was a machine that was hooked up to his heart surgically, and it basically kept his heart going, but meant that he could never leave the hospital again until he had a heart transplant. But due to his low lung pressure, he still wasn't even listed as a potential transplant recipient yet. Before he went back for the balloon pump surgery, Chris made one request, that we get a picture of him in Groucho Marx glasses while knocked out on the ventilator. Seriously, he asked 3 times. After his surgery, his surgeon came out to speak with us, and we got some pretty amazing news.
The lung pressure is much better, basically to the point where he can get transplanted.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we said, let's get him listed.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So now, basically, Chris's job was to get as healthy as he could while on the balloon pump waiting for a transplant. We called him a superhero, and the nursing staff agreed. While some patients can barely walk a hallway, Chris ended up walking miles a day throughout the hospital.
Blowing it away. Thanks. He's got a cape. I love it.
His determination knows no bounds.
Oh my goodness, I want to pass out.
Meanwhile, Lori moved into an apartment in Nashville. If Chris got a transplant, he would have to stay local for 3 months. She was even reunited with her dog, Annie, after weeks of being apart.
Hi. Mom. Oh, Annie. Hi, baby.
Yeah, that was the best. 25 days, some super scary times, and a transplant false alarm later, we got the call. It's Heart Day! We all immediately dropped everything and zoomed as fast as we could to Nashville. The ICU nursing staff even let us all come in as a big group to give him hugs before surgery. Unsurprisingly to anyone who knows Chris, he endeared himself to the nursing staff and became known as quite the prankster. So Lori arranged an appropriate send-off right before surgery. Chris's nurses were as excited as we were.
Drill.
My head is too big for
This
these.
is not a drill.
This is the real thing.
Here it comes. Here it
They
comes.
are really coming.
We love you.
Good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye, Dad.
Happy heart.
All right,
Thank you.
Greeted him with his heart surgery.
We settled in overnight, alone in the waiting room, for the 8 to 10 hours they said it might take. But of course, we made it fun. We had long-distance visitors and friends praying for us all across the country. We kept ourselves entertained while waiting for updates. Hi.
Hi.
What are we-
Yummy stuff.
What are we doing? Why are we sitting in a waiting room meeting?
Because he's getting a heart.
He's getting a heart right now.
Who? What?
Hi, Mom. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
Yay. The scrub nurse called from the OR periodically just to update us at the big milestones.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes. The heart is here about 2 or 3 minutes ago. They are in the process of taking his out. And
Old and busted.
Old and busted, new hotness.
Yes, yes.
the next time they will call, she said, we should be able to tell you that it's in his chest and beating.
Wow. Ooh, and that's the big part.
Wow.
Yeah. Hi, Rebecca. And it's beating on And it's fun. He's off bypass.
Oh my god. That was like a maybe for a date thing, right?
All right.
Hi, Rebecca. Closed his chest. They're done.
It went well?
It's done. Yeah.
What's Dad's heart transplant is done?
Beating in his chest. And then closed him all up.
Ooh, you got jazz hands from Myra.
It took a while before we could see him, but we caught a glimpse of him getting wheeled by in the hallway.
High five,
Someone
Dad.
come to me. Someone come to me.
High five, high five, high five.
Yeah. Ah.
High five, high five.
Finally, by 3 a.m., we got to go back and see him. It was pretty amazing to see how strong his new heart was. Oh, and it was Good Friday. For the first few days, he had 2 nurses assigned to only him. Once he woke up, it was really exciting to see the progress. In classic Chris style, he exceeded expectations everywhere.
He's squeezing my hand. This is day 2. Look. He's squeezing my hand. Good job, Dad. And he winked. I got the thumbs up right.
You are awesome.
Yeah. They said he's almost breathing entirely on his own now. That ventilator's about to come out.
Well, he's doing all of it on his own.
Oh, yes.
All of it on his own. Go, man. I see you working your feet. Good job.
Yeah.
We're making little treat bags for Easter because there are nurses working on Easter Sunday tomorrow.
Yep.
And we wanted Chris Hopkins to be able to give all those nurses a special treat bag on Easter. To say thank you.
Yay! We're working on
He
it.
hasn't done one single thing to help.
Look at all these goodies. Well, they're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Look at
I
this.
mean, look.
This is the best part.
Look at this. Good stuff.
That's my bag.
What?
On day 3, Easter Sunday, he ate his first food. We kept a constant stream of visitors coming, so he had to have his hair done. Soon, he was saying goodbye to his nurses in the ICU and heading to a regular room.
Yeah, Dad. First walk. You're doing awesome. Superhero status.
But they didn't keep him long.
It's going home
She's
day.
so
I love
It's
it.
going home day. And what are you gonna do all the way home?
Wee. Let's go.
Let's go home. Woo! Busting out of this place.
Go.
Yeehaw! Let's go.
Come here. Hi. Hey, baby.
It's Daddy.
How are you? You don't even remember me, do you? What the heck has been going on? Your whole life has been turned upside down.
This is when the real rehab began. He talked his doctors into letting him do twice as much rehab every week as they recommended. While it was hard to be away from family, Chris and Lori had tons of visitors. While Lori ran all over town every single day to make sure that Chris had every single little thing he needed. Seriously, this can opener was a whole thing. He made such incredible progress that less than 3 months after his surgery, he got to move home. We celebrated with some photos in front of a mural we passed on the day of his transplant. On July 13th, 2019, Chris and Lori hit the ground running with their new life. And honestly, they haven't slowed down since. From our family, thank you so much to all the doctors, nurses, hospital staff, custodians, and cafeteria workers for making this possible. And from a very grateful daughter of the two best people in the world, thank you to the family of the donor. We will cherish this gift forever, and no better man could be its steward